Hello and welcome to Two Bros Podcast. I'm Adam,
I'm Joe.
and we're back for episode 34. So today we're gonna do we're talking about news and turn it up.
Turn it up. Turn it up.
And if you don't recognize that album cover behind Joe, the band today for Turn It Up is Korn. So it's my week. I picked Korn, and Joe be asking me questions, and you know the routine if you've watched this before. So, all right, let's get into music news. Music news. All right. So, what do you got?
First story. It continues with the Pantera reunion or whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
Now, Dimebag's guitar tech. He signed on for the shows or the tour or whatever they're doing, and he's going to be handling the guitar equipment of Dimebag that Zach's going to use because Rita has given permission and she letting them use some of Dime's equipment, like some of his guitars and shit.
Yeah.
So he's going to be running it, and he said in the interview he was against it at first because he didn't like that the brothers
Weren't a part of it. Yeah.
and they were calling it Pantera straight up at first, and but then when Rita I guess offered the guitar equipment, he figured, well, since he knows the equipment and he could take care of it, he should be part of it. So he kind of changed his mind.
Yeah. That's did you write down his name? I think it's Grady. Grady something is his
But I wrote it down. I didn't write it down.
I forget his last name, but his first name's Grady. I know that from years of watching Pantera videos and all that stuff.
Yeah, the show notes will have the link, and then you can.
Yeah. Check it out. Yeah, so that's all official. We saw a clip. I found a clip last week, and I sent it to you. We should put that up too with the notes. Zach Wild playing the solo for Walk in a walkthrough, and of course he has the bullseye on the guitar, but the thing looked like a Dimebag. I think that's the ML is the model that he uses with that looks like almost like an X. So it looks like that he's going to be playing the Dimebag guitars, but I think they're going to be releasing a Wild Audio Dimebag model. So we'll see.
I think you're right. They probably have some deal or something.
Yeah, him and Rita probably worked it out, and then that way keeps the Dimebag guitars living on because they broke up with their deal with Dean, so they're no longer with Dean. And the question's been who's going to release those guitars? Where are they going to be?
Dean, I think they get a court order to stop manufacturing any guitar.
No, it's the Gibson lawsuit, but that was what was the body style? It was, I think, that body style. Was it the Explorer or is it the V? It was one of the body styles.
Oh, okay.
Which I think is janky because everybody makes Vs, they make Explorers, they make all those. Les Pauls, fuck. Everybody makes like ESP makes like a Les Paul shape.
Yes, which came from.
Yeah, Strat. Well, that's Fender, so they don't have that. But and everybody makes like a Strat style body. Or like the more modern ones, they call them the super strats. But yeah. So I don't know. It remains to be seen. Maybe, maybe not. But I have a feeling, Wild Audio is going to release a Dimebag guitar.
Well, the one thing that in all these stories I keep seeing Rita's name popping up.
Of course.
She's heavily involved, but I don't hear Benny's old lady. She's more behind the scenes. But
she's probably behind the scenes. Rita's always been out and about, and she's always been a part of it. So she's been in the scene for years. She's the one also putting on like the Dimebag event, for Dime every year they have. So yeah, I don't know anything about Vinny's chick. Maybe she just doesn't want to be in the limelight.
Drama continues with that. Wait, they have a few shows set too. I didn't fucking write it down, but yeah, it's gonna be. They got 4 that I seen on the list that they got going.
Yeah, I think one starts in December. And they're on Knotfest, and I think they go to South America.
Yeah, one was South America, but then they said they're going to add more. So
yeah, of course they're going to add more. If money comes pouring in, they'll add it. So I had so I talked to you this morning, and you make sure we don't do the same stories. And I'm looking in Foo Fighters concert. It's going on today. So the Taylor Hawkins tribute show out in Wembley Stadium. Long list of people that were there. Eddie Van Halen, Wolfie Van Halen, Liam Gallagher, Brian Johnson and Lars Ulrich, Stuart Copeland, Geddy Lee and Alex Lifeson from Rush, Brian May and Roger Taylor. And Roger Taylor's son, Rufus Taylor, was there. He played with the Foo Fighters on one of their songs. So what they're doing, I guess, is two main concerts for Taylor Hawkins and, in his memory. So they did one in the UK and England at Wembley. And then the September 27th, they'll be doing one at the Forum in LA. So that's going to be another star-studded event with a lot of people there. And yeah, I just found out about this morning when I was doing my homework for this. I'm like, oh shit, this is on? Oh, it's already going. Cause by the time we got up, I was already missed a few. I missed Wolfie and I missed Liam and a couple other acts by the time we came in. So
and then they had some crust. Well, you mentioned Rush and and Queen. They're always in. And then
Paul McCartney showed up.
Yeah, the Crust himself.
Yeah. And Pretenders, they dragged her out of the fucking coffin. But that, those guys, man, they have they're that was Taylor Hawkins. He likes all those old bands, so it was like a tribute to him. So
yeah, but they were playing the newer shit, right? And then it's Paul McCartney comes out and they play an old fucking Crust song.
Hella old song, but I think that's because them two performed that song. They've never performed it. They said. Well, you know what? And then Foo Fighters did a movie, was a documentary. I don't know if it was the Sound City documentary or was another one, but he recorded a song with them where they have footage where they're all recording and Paul McCartney was in there with the Foo Fighters recording.
In there and they were
Yeah, so I mean he has history with them. He knows them.
They were in England, so why not? Yeah,
and who knows why they picked that song. He said that they never performed it live, and it was a duet with her, so they figured, hey, I guess play that song. But,
and then Travis, I guess he got out of the coma bed.
Yeah.
There, he played a couple songs.
Because he's like, I want the job, man. I want the job. Everybody's fighting the job. But I think Roger Taylor's son's going to get the job. I have a feeling. That dude, his feel and his look, he looks like Taylor Hawkins.
I thought he was his son at first. I missed the intro when they introduced him.
Yeah.
Him playing, I was like, dude, that must be his son. But no, then they brought his son out for the very end.
Shane. Yeah.
And his son didn't look like him, but he played,
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah, no, that's what I thought too, because I asked Jeff, who did they say was on drums? And then you see the guy playing, and he has the same, the way he hits and the way he moves, and then he's blonde haired. He looks like Taylor Hawkins.
Yeah.
Like a younger Taylor Hawkins. So it's oh, that must be his son. No, it's Roger Taylor's son. So, but all of that's on YouTube now, so you can go back and watch it. We went back and watched the Wolfie, his set, and he was playing Van Halen songs. He did.
He wasn't going to do that. Remember, he said in that one.
Well,
story.
yeah, no, he says he wasn't going to go around playing to be Van Halen. He said, if they put together something, a tribute for his dad, and they did a Van Halen show or a couple of...
I know the tribute, he said.
Yeah.
He was touring with his band.
He just... Because all these old fuddy-duddies want him to be Eddie Van Halen. Hey, why don't you play Eddie Van... They want him to be like Jason Bonham. Go out there and play your dad's shit. It's no.
But what he's going to end up doing, though?
No, how?
Because everybody wants him to do that, so he's going to cave. And
I
he's
don't
already
think
starting to, because look, you just said he played some Van Halen.
I don't think so.
I don't think there's nothing wrong with that. That's his dad.
But it's not his music. It's like you go play fucking, hey, Joe, play blues. Why don't we start riding blues? Stop riding metal. Like, nah, you can play your dad's music. He played it. He nailed the fucking solo for Hot for Teacher. He nailed the guitar parts, too. He was hitting it. But I think it's just because this was a tribute to Taylor Hawkins, and he probably hung out with Taylor. You know, he probably knew him. And it's like, this is Taylor Hawkins loved Van Halen. So this was all about Taylor Hawkins, not about, hey, I want to play these songs. I don't know.
It kind of looked like it was about Dave Grohl because he was in every.
I know, Dave Grohl night. Dave on bass, Dave on drums.
Bass singing. He was on drums. He was on guitar.
Yeah.
Like with Rush, he played the drums. I was like, oh, shit. And I was like, that's probably like a dream come true for him.
Yeah.
And I was, he was, well, I mean, because I'm sure he was in charge of setting it up.
No, yeah.
You know, but
he's the main reason they're all there doing that anyway. It's Dave Grohl. He's like the token rock guy. I always think
got fucked is the bass player for Nirvana. You don't hear about him no more. You would think Dave Grohl would have brought him along.
Well, you know what? He's listed on the flyer of being there, and he's supposed to be at the LA one too.
I didn't see him today, but then
I didn't see him either. Maybe he's in the background. I don't know. Yeah. Maybe he didn't make it out to England. Maybe he could have made it out there. I guess we'll see the 27th. What sucks about the 27th one is that's a Tuesday. So they're going to do a big concert here in our time zones or relative to it because you're a couple hour or an hour difference. Yeah. But now it's going to be on a Tuesday. Hello, you fuck offs. People have to go to jobs. You know? We have to pay our fucking bills. I don't know if you know this, but there's a recession. People need to work.
And are they going to do the same fucking numbers, or are they going to have
I think they have a few different guys. Different bands will be there. Some of the same bands will be there and same guys. But I don't know. I haven't seen anything.
Be out again. I bet you he'll fucking do the same song.
Who?
Paul.
Oh, Paul. If he comes out, I don't know that he's going to come to L.A.
Because he said number the Beatles, so I think they called him number 2.
Is that what they call him? Oh, yeah, because John would be number 1.
Yeah. Because I know Ringo was number 4.
Oh, Ringo was last. He came in after they were already established. And George was like the kid. He was younger than those guys, so.
3.
Yeah. But, I don't know. It was cool just to watch. You know, it's an event. It's a moment in history. What I didn't get is who was that dude singing with Queen that I guess Brian May saw on her, Roger Taylor said it was his idea to bring this guy out, and he fucking nailed it.
Roger Taylor was singing when I caught the Queen playing.
Yeah, he was singing on that one. Was that the one who sat in on drums? Oh, his son? That's the one that Rufus sat in on.
They had somebody else on the drums.
And I think it was Rufus.
He was right in front of them.
And that's when I was thinking that's Taylor Hawkins' son. But no, his son's just a kid.
They have that dude that tours with them when they tour as Queen still.
Adam Lambert.
Why didn't they just have him out there?
I was wondering, I'm like, where the fuck's that guy at? Was he not? Oh, you're not invited, dude. You're not invited. Just the legends. You're a fucking afterthought. And then they bring some other dude from YouTube, it looked like, out there, and he fucking nailed that shit.
And they had Stuart Copeland was on there.
Stuart Copeland, yeah. He was like, yeah, I'm back. I don't need Sting.
The Police.
I got the Foo Fighters, man. Let's do this. So, yeah, check it out. It's on YouTube. So all of the performances are there. It was entertaining.
Yeah, it was pretty good. It just went on and on because I was like,
oh, I know.
It's like, and actually, when you text me, I turned it on and Queens of the Stone Age.
Yeah, Josh Holmes was there.
I know he's a buddy because didn't Dave Grohl find him or discover him or something?
Yeah, and then Dave Grohl played on one or two of their albums or a few of their albums. He played drums. So they used to all hang out. Yeah, that guy hangs out with all of them. And Taylor used to party and hang out with everybody.
Down there. Lars.
Mm-hmm. Speeding it up.
And he was with Brian from AC/DC.
Yeah, Brian Johnson.
And then he was bitching in between the two songs. He was bitching about his drums. He had the tech on his knees out there trying to fix his drums.
Fix this shit, you fucker. This isn't fucking Metallica. Hey, I'll be back in a few months, okay? Metallica's coming. Hit it those commercial there. Well, he kind of fucking didn't even introduce him. He goes, we got Lars and we got Brian Johnson for fucking AC/DC. It's like, okay, that's kind of dick. Lars is only in the biggest metal band on the planet.
Yeah. But no, what cracks me up is he had trouble with his drum set and it looked like it was his snare. And it's like, play his signature snare, Lars snare. So is that thing fucked up or what?
I guess so. It's like,
Oh man, I have no idea what's going
that's a
on.
fucking drum tech, man. Hey, fucking fix his shit.
Don't preach to me, fatso.
You got the fucking whip out and shit. I swear, I caught that. He's fucking the drum tech was on his knees.
I missed that. I'm going to go back and watch that. There must have been like, when the mechanisms start failing and shit, and you got your drum tech there fucking trying to fix it. You're having to play.
Right after they played Back in Black.
Yeah.
And then got to the next song, but he, wait. Like he was telling him to wait.
To hold up, yeah.
The drum tech run out there and he gets on his knees and then Lars hitting the snare drum like, it sounds the same, dude. That's your signature snare. What the fuck?
Yeah, who knows?
Yeah, that was funny.
All right, what do you got next?
And then back to the world of Ozzy. There was like a couple short stories about him. So I just kind of put them together. They got another reality show coming out for their move back to England.
Yeah.
On the Roost. So that's coming out, and I think that's on BBC. It said so, but that'll be out on other networks and shit. They're gonna, sell the shit out of that.
Yeah.
And then along those lines, Ozzy's going to be performing at next week's NFL kickoff game on Thursday night.
Yeah, he'd be back. They just left LA and he's going to be back in LA performing at the Rams Stadium.
Yeah. And,
Irvine, California. Which is crazy because you don't ever see like metal guys perform at halftime. I wonder what the change is there.
What caught my eye on that story, because I didn't read the whole thing at first, and I just kind of, I thought they would, because it said NFL and halftime. I thought they were picking them for this year's Super Bowl. But then when I read the article, I was like, oh no, it's just the fucking.
Yeah, nobody's gonna see this. Actually, it's just gonna be there.
But it's not the Super Bowl. They're not gonna put a metal act on it.
Not a Super Bowl.
Maybe Metallica, maybe.
They still haven't.
But yeah, they haven't done it yet.
They can play For Whom the Bell Tolls at every football game, but yeah.
Well, they play Ozzy too at all.
They play Ozzy, yeah. But at this point, I don't even know if Ozzy could do a halftime, like a full NFL halftime show, because that seems fast paced. They're moving. Ozzy's like crippled now. Like
what I heard from that surgery he had, like he couldn't fucking walk at all.
Yeah.
And then so he had that to relieve just the pain.
Yeah.
So he's still fucked up. But then in the third story that I'm kind of combining, he says that he thinks he can do one more tour. So he wants to go out on a full tour. I'm like, there's no way, dude.
Unless they got him on some good drugs or something, because when he did that, what was it, the Grammys with Post Malone like a year ago, 2 years ago? Dude, he had to walk him out there. Like, come on, Grandpa, let's go.
He walks like he talks.
He's walking like he fucking needs a cane and all that. I mean, he's 70-some years old, isn't he? So it's like, yeah, I mean, dude, just Sharon's like, Ozzy, you got one more tour, you Ozzy, give me the money.
The fucking his funeral, she's gonna be broadcasting this shit.
Oh yeah, it's gonna be fucking on this all this pay-per-play services and shit.
Yeah.
Fucking come watch my Ozzy.
Yeah.
He's gonna be fucking. They're gonna have him with formaldehyde, all preserved. Send him out on tour.
They'll probably do that. Remember how they got the hologram, but nothing really came of it?
Yeah. Well, they did. They did the Dio hologram. So
yeah.
So they'll do an Aussie hologram. Shit. So all right, the Chronicles of Ozzy.
Yeah. So it continues.
So I had this isn't a big one, but Dino Cazars found his way into the news again. I guess Furnace Fest is the festival that he's calling them out for their logo. It's basically two F's back to back, like one facing backward, one facing forward. And he's like, oh, like he says this quote. He goes, "Everyone in music identifies two Fs as Fear Factory." And I'm reading this article and I'm watching the Foo Fighters. And I'm like, no, I think everybody says two Fs is Foo Fighters. They're kind of bigger than Fear Factory.
I thought that represented Dive Bars and Conquer.
Yeah, well, that's what happens. But you know what he's doing.
Where's my money, bitch?
I don't know, because his is like, it's like an X, two Fs crossing and facing back to back, but they're crossing each other. These are just standing up. Do you really get it? I guess if you trademark that, but I don't know. I think that was his last album, had that symbol. But I was like, oh, really? Two Fs, right? Everybody knows that? Everybody in music? Oh, there's a lot of famous people in music on the TV right now in Wembley. Or Wembley. I can't even pronounce it. Blah, 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 blah. Wembley. Sort your life out, mate. Yeah.
These go to 11.
All right. So is that did we do all four or you got one more?
No, we did it.
We did them all.
Hey, you were gonna do that other one you said.
Which one?
Tell me yesterday and I forgot.
No, I was gonna yesterday I didn't even have anything
I know you didn't have the Dino one.
No, I had to find him this morning. When you sent over, hey, I'm doing these, you fucked me up with the Aussie one because I was gonna do Aussie's doing the halftime show. I'm like, oh, you just fucking took one of mine. Damn it.
I just figured because he's old, I'll do the older ones.
That's what I figured. I thought, oh, yeah, no. Because we were talking this morning, I started looking. I thought you were going to do the old ones like that dude had a heart attack from UFO. And like, I don't care about UFO. That's crusty. Do the older ones. Do the heart attack guy from UFO.
All right, I'll fucking start doing that.
You get crusty. You could have 70s and 80s. I'll have 90s and beyond.
Get Dave Grohl.
Yeah, I get Dave Grohl. That's my era, man. The fucking Nirvana Smells Like Teen Spirit. That hit my senior year. It was my last year of high school. That's my era. Gen X. Well, you're Gen X too. I'm just
crust.
You're kind of at the edge of the fucking boomers and then the beginning of Gen X. All right, so let's do turn it up. Yeah.
It's now time for Turn It Up.
Thank you. Yeah. All right, so we start out with questions, right?
Question 1.
See if I fuck this up.
I think these are easy, but I didn't try to blow your mind. But who knows if you didn't do your homework.
I did a little bit, but yeah, we'll see.
What California city are Korn from?
Bakersfield, California. Just like the Carr family. Yeah. Oh. Yeah, I'm a little late on that. We need to get somebody to do sound bites so we could just talk and have people just fucking put stuff in.
Okay, number 2. What category of music are Korn considered?
Nu metal. And actually, they're at the front of nu metal, correct?
Yeah, they were considered.
Yeah, because they started in 93, but I'm reading like things on them and it's like, oh, they were like the genres post grunge. It's like, wait a minute. They formed right at the height of grunge.
Yeah.
So they weren't post, they were during. I don't know what millennial came up with that. All right.
That one. And then number 3. What was the title of Korn's second album?
Oh. Life is Peachy?
Don't be looking at Wikipedia.
I did it. I was like, I always forget.
Got it.
You're correct?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I figured I'd throw that one just kind of.
Well, that's the one. Like, first one, of course, is Korn. That you should throw that one. What's the name for their debut album? Molester? Playground? I don't know.
Want my money, bitch?
Where's my money, bitch?
Where's my money, bitch?
You don't get none.
Mexican Americans!
Go pick some fruit. Fuck.
I figured I was gonna do the first. I was like, let's do the second one and just mix it up.
Yeah. As long as the first 3 I get, after that, well, Issues is that the fourth one? Yeah, I think so. And then after that, I start falling off. I just kind of stopped in the 2000s.
Well, that's when they all went into rehab and they were going through all this.
Yeah, and well, now they're Fieldy's still in rehab. You don't know where the hell that dude is. He's AWOL. I seen that dude at NAMM a couple of times, like go in the urinal, go to use it. Oh, there's fucking Fieldy pissing right next to me. That dude's little, man. He's like, I think he's like up to here on me. So, and I'm like 5'11", so I don't know, 5'7", 5'6". I don't know. Yeah, it's tribute. It's like, well, all right. So, yeah, Korn. What the hell do I have here? Like Joe said, his first question, Bakersfield, California. They got out of there. They went to L.A. I didn't even put no notes up on them. First album, like we'd see their flyers around because they were coming up here a lot. And we were always making jokes, Korn, butt Korn. But we'd see their flyers at all the clubs. They were playing like the Cactus Club, Berkeley Square. And they'd come up here with Deftones and play Northern California. And so they were just groundbreaking. They were playing 7 strings when nobody was really playing 7 strings. And it was new. It was something totally new, especially like Jonathan Davis's scat. Sounds like he's speaking in tongues and shit.
Yeah.
And they were just a landmark band. And one time we covered, we used to play with another band and they would cover Deftones. So then we were like, hey, we got to do a cover and we got to light them up. So we were like, who does Deftones tour with? Oh, Korn. Let's do Blind. We did fucking Blind at Slim's in San Francisco and just lit the fucking room up. And those guys were like, you guys had to fucking cover Korn? Fuck. They were doing Engine Number 9 by Deftones. And it was like, well, gotta go big.
Yeah.
They're a good band, man. Innovative. I don't like the bass tone. Not a fan of it, but hey, whatever.
Well, yeah, but you switched to guitar anyways.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I was already.
And now you're buying 7 strings.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I came along. They were ahead of their time. See, there were bands playing 7 strings eventually in the 90s. I think, like we mentioned, Fear Factory. I don't know if they started playing in the 90s, 7 strings, but I know Dino plays 7s. Bands like Meshuggah, they play 7s. But there wasn't a lot of bands playing them then.
And what's the advantage to the 7th string?
It's like a 5-string bass. You get a low B, so you get another low note. But like the way I play, I basically, like when I tune standard, I go down one whole step. I tune to D. Actually, if I can get a guitar here, I'll show you. What else is that? Let me get a 6-string. So here's a 6-string. But so the way I would play, it's almost like you have another string here, the B, on a 7-string. I would bar, like take 2 notes right here, which is 5th octave, and I'd bar that. And the root, there is no root because there's no string here. But it's like playing the 5th and the root. The octave's the same thing. So a lot of times in my playing, I bar on standard tuning, which is like having an extra string there. So some of like my old songs and stuff, I can play with my 7-string because they were just, there was like a ghost string there. And now on my 7-string, when I write, there's other things you can dig down, go lower. You just get a different tone. So a lot of these modern bands like gent bands and like Periphery, all these different types of bands, they get just a different tone. With the 6-string, you could tune way down, but then your strings get floppier. You have to go to heavier gauges. I don't like it. I don't like it as much. I don't think it has the same tone. So, but it's all preference. There's guys that play six strings and tune to A or G. So.
What I remember hearing is Korn would do the 7th string and then tune to A.
Yeah. Like I'm tuned, well, it's a B, so it's tuned to A, and then I drop the A to a G. So the bottom B string is a G. And then I'm in standard D tuning. Or sometimes I'll drop that D to a C, so I'm in drop C tuning. And then you get weird because you could go lower. You could do string skipping, and you just got different tones that you can't read. You couldn't get them if you were tuned standard because your stretch would just be way too far apart. It just makes things tighter and closer. It's preference, you know. Like drop tuning, it's also that you can bar. You can play things with one finger.
Yeah. And the strings. I remember when I first got my guitar, because you were giving me some strings to try, like brand.
Yeah.
Got the dimes. Those were pretty good. But then I got the Zax. What I ended up doing was I took the hybrid Zax, the 3 low strings,
Yeah.
high strings, dime. I don't like that, but I don't. It's just all whatever, you know.
Yeah. Yeah, it's preference. It's what you feel comfortable doing. And for the longest time, like I tuned down one whole step. I don't tune to E. I haven't tuned to E in probably like 25 years or 20 years. But I always tune down to D, so it's basically D standard, one whole step every string down. And then I will do drop C. It took me years to do that. But in the 90s, everybody was doing drop C. I remember backstage at a Torque concert, or were they still Violence at that point? Phil asked me to tech for him and tune his guitars. Like, if he needs it, check it. And then that was the first time I had heard it tune into drop C. He's like, this is C, this one's, is it D, G, G, C. Yeah. And it's like, oh, okay. So they were doing that. A lot of the guys, Machine Head, a lot of these bands were doing it in the 90s. That's when drop C was big. Yeah. Or drop D, which is standard, and drop it down to D.
That's what
yeah, if you tune standard and you drop that bottom string, that's drop D. But it's all the same. It's all about tone and what you want. So
yeah.
But yeah, they were just, and the way they played the guitars was because they were kind of influenced by rap and stuff. So they would use them like sound effects and not play riffs all the time, which was just different. It was a different thing for Korn. I just rewrote how it was done. But nobody came along. They didn't really like change in the sense that everybody like copied their style. I don't think there's anybody that really copied them.
I mean, because like didn't Old Chamber kind of sound like them? There was those bands that had that sound kind of.
I guess, but that I think, yeah. I mean, like
that hella sounds like a Korn song.
Which one?
That Loco, Old Chamber.
I don't know. Maybe I'm just because I've heard it so long and I just know that I don't hear it. But I mean, I guess that's what makes a genre, right? Because there's bands that tour in that same genre because they all kind of sound similar. It's probably just the tuning, just drop low tuning.
Yeah.
And then chugging, like that was a thing in the 90s, is like rhythmic. And the drums, simple. Yeah. They start like backing off on the double kicks. You don't do all that, just fucking simple drum beats. And that fucking makes it groove, you know? Everything seems to groove better like that.
Well, they said, too, that one of their influences, Korn, was Red Hot Chili Peppers, which is funk. They did like a lot of funk.
Yeah.
Ready to rock with the funk. And then I guess that would be the next manifestation is what Korn came out with, like, you know, the evolve.
Well, that, funk and rap, because they were big time in the rap, too. And that's where new metal kind of mixed. And they didn't have a DJ so much as you think of new metal bands, and they usually have DJs. But
what's that one? I forget the name.
What?
Chester Bennington was his band.
Oh, Linkin Park, yeah.
Linkin Park, they got a DJ.
Yeah, they have a DJ. Slipknot has a DJ. But
they were new metal.
Yeah, they were new metal, but they're at the end of it. Like Korn, you know, like I said earlier, they came up in '93 when they started. Linkin Park didn't start till like the 2000s. But even Slipknot, they were like mid to late 90s when they started out, and then they broke in like 98. Iowa, that's nothing to do but metal, new metal apparently. And so yeah, I mean they're a good band, and they're still around, obviously. So they were a big influence. Everybody
was the first band too that tried to have try to get a clothing contract. I tried to get it with Adidas because they were always wearing the jumpsuits.
Oh, that's right. They changed that because at that time, all like the metal guys were still with the jean jackets and the leather jackets and jeans, and then these guys came out and they're all wearing jumpsuits.
Yeah,
They look like the Russian mafia guys always wearing the
they got
jumpsuits.
that from the early rappers.
The rappers like LL Cool J and those guys with the Kangles and.
They would wear the
Yeah, because their shit was always like Adidas and British Knights, and yeah, it was all that same style. So yeah, they got that same style from those guys. They took from everything, and then it's like I remember at the time reading interviews, they would call like Metallica or Megadeth that kind of metal. They were like, well, I don't know if we could ever sound like that. That's like man metal. We're just a bunch of kids. Like, I don't think we can write riffs like that. I think it was just they were intimidated by it at the time, but yeah, and it was just different. It kind of took away this. You have to wear like the costume, but then all that happened was the costume changed.
yeah.
Then it became piercings and all this other shit, baggy clothes, jumpsuits, red hats, like because they're the ones responsible for Limp Bizkit and Fred Durst. He used to be their tattoo artist.
Yeah.
So they found him and then they blew him up and his band.
And then he found Stain.
Then he got Stain. He's like, this is how it's done. You got to find the next generation, get a piece of that, get a cut of that money. So, but yeah, check them out. I'm sure you have. I'm sure everybody's heard of them.
Yeah.
And yeah, that's it. That's all I got.
And he did too. I was going to mention John. Well, that was going to be one of my questions, but I figured you ain't going to get that one.
What?
Jonathan, what's his name? He did the soundtrack for Queen of the Dam.
Oh yeah, no, yeah, they have a song on there. He did the whole soundtrack.
Yeah.
Well, or put it together because there's a lot of artists on that.
Yeah, he did. Like he wrote all the music, but yeah, he was the main one involved in that, like the music producer.
Oh, okay, yeah, like the music director,
Yeah.
which I could see because it was all that style of music. Oh, I thought you were going to ask me what did he do before Korn, and he was what do you call it, a mortician.
Yeah.
He'd work in the morgue. So that's where a lot of like his fixation with dead bodies everywhere and all that shit comes from.
Well, and then I seen him in an interview. He said, "It didn't really have an effect on me." Well, yeah, it kind of did, motherfucker, because you're still fucking talking about it.
Well, it either did or that was just a byproduct of and probably that didn't have the effect. More so the fucking childhood rape or whatever that he went through. Because at the end of the first album, the very last song, it breaks down and then he goes into like this fit, like where he's crying. I think it's called "Daddy" is the song. It's like, so the dude I think was raped or molested as a child, and he fucking lets it out, and it's like, whoa, this is fucking heavy. So yeah, I think it's just a byproduct of just fucking molestation. So he's just a messed up, he got messed up. But
No way. Yeah, I heard him in that one interview. He's talking about being a mortician.
Yeah.
Right. He wasn't the main, but yeah, they do the bodies, and he goes, after a while you kind of get numb because it's just the same, like dead bodies.
It's just it's no.
And you like phase it out. Because but then every so often you get a child, that you gotta do, and then that would kind of set you off, like, wow. And you start realizing, oh, this shit's real.
Yeah.
I think that fucked them up too, though. I mean,
It's gotta. It's somewhere in there. It's gotta affect you because you're seeing death, and it's like you think there's this body, and it's like that person has a story. That person's lived through shit. I wonder, like how did they get here? What did they go through? And then like when you see a child, it's like, dude, you didn't even get to live yet. That'd be crazy. Yeah, I watch stuff on YouTube where they're going into like old morgues and shit, and the fucking bodies are exposed and shit. You're like, dude, fuck, this shit's all just falling apart. And it's like, dude, but those people all have stories. They lived, Wow. I wonder, what each person's story was. Who knows? Maybe one day they'll be able to download our brains, and then all that shit will just be on the internet. More noise.
crazy.
More adventures. So, all right. You got any more, or that's it for this week?
And this was after we were cruising, so we didn't mean.
You guys are done cruising by this point. This is 90s. Shit, by the time that album came out, you were gone. You were in New Mexico.
Yeah.
Yeah, you had left the state.
Yeah.
So, all right, then all the links, like you said, will be down below. And hit the subscribe if you haven't.
Yeah. And then, I put, I'm doing, because I'm keep adding equipment to my home studio here. So I've been putting, I put on Instagram some pictures of some new equipment I got. And then I'm going to be working this week. I'm off on patient. So I'll be putting together kind of a compilation of my home studio, how it's evolved since, I started setting it up.
Yeah.
You got a new piece of equipment too, right?
Yeah, I got a new. I'll talk more about it in the next one because we're gonna also got an unboxing and then I'll show it there and then talk more about it. And as I just barely started working on with it this like Friday, so I don't even know how to really use it yet. Got to learn how to program it and stuff. So, but yeah, we'll be dropping a lot more material. Like I said, unboxing. You got a bunch of equipment, and yeah. So. See you next time, I guess.
All right, later.
All right, bye.